Today, we're going to talk about the pound yen because it is finally breaking out of a multi-month range. So I do think there's an opportunity developing here over the coming days. We'll talk about all of the details, including some targets in this video. And if you guys do enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for notifications because I am releasing these videos every single weekday in addition to those weekly forecasts on Saturday. So make sure to hit that bell icon so you get notifications so you don't miss out. And lastly, none of the content in this video or any video is financial advice because it is just my opinion. Now, one last thing before we start. Between April 1st and April 14th coming up, I will be out of town. I'm actually getting married on April 8th, so I will be out of town for that. So expect no videos during that time. Wouldn't be a great way to start out a marriage, but I might try to post here and there, okay, that first week. No guarantees, but I might try to post. However, there will be no videos. So just keep that in mind during the first half of April, and I will be reminding everybody again, just to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, so looking at the pound yen. So this is the daily time frame, and you can see where the market is finally breaking out from this range. So between 149 and 158, the market has traded within this range for the past few months. In fact, this lower level at 149 goes all the way back here to March of last year. The upper level extends from October of last year. So this week, yesterday, the market did break out. Today is kind of consolidating a little bit above that area. But to be honest with you, the market is a little bit too far extended right now for me to consider buying this. I would prefer to wait for a possible retest of this area down here as new support. I think that this area is significant enough around 158 for the market to want to test this as new support over the coming days. So there are a couple of things I'm looking for here. First, I would like to see a more rounded retest of 158. I don't want to see a very aggressive pullback. All right, so if tomorrow were to retest 158, for example, I would be very hesitant to go ahead and buy there just because that would be a pretty aggressive pullback toward this area. So a more rounded retest would be more constructive for this market, something like this, down into 158. And then you're going to want to watch through this area for bullish price action. Of course, that's just my opinion, not financial advice, but that is what I will be doing. All right, so this area through here, right around 158, I will be watching for bullish price action from there over the coming days. Now, if we were to see an aggressive rotation lower and the market were to close back below, all right, this area here, all right, so if it were to close back down here, it would confirm that this up here was a false break and would flip this back to resistance just like it was back here and could send the pound yen lower. So that could also be a signal in and of itself if we were to see an aggressive pullback toward 158 and it closed below that area. But as of right now, 158 is going to be new support for the pound yen. Now let's go ahead and talk about targets here for this market. So I'm keeping an eye on the 164 area, 163.80 to be exact. And the reason for that is if we look here on the weekly time frame. All right, so going back here, you can see that 164 was resistance back here. It was then support on this candle. And then looking back here toward the period between 2016, really throughout the entire year, this area was support here. And then it was resistance. Okay, so the 164 area is going to be significant for the pound yen on the way up. So that would be my target right there, just because I do think there's a good chance that if we do see the market move higher, that we do get a significant rotation lower from this area up here around 164. But for right now, the weekly time frame really sums up why I'm not going to buy this market at the moment. And that's just because the last 3 weeks have been green. You can see that, again, the market has been pretty much straight up here over the past couple of weeks. And so a retest of this area, potentially sometime next week, would not surprise me. All right, so a retest of this area as new support, and then maybe we get that continuation from that region. Or like I said, we get to close back below this area here and this up here becomes a false break. But either way, whether this becomes new support and we get that retest, or if the pound yen closes back below this area, either way, I do think that there's an opportunity here over the coming weeks. And by the way, a close back below this level. So let's say that the pound yen came down, closed back below this area, this up here becomes a false break. I do think the target then would be at least down here toward these lows, if not 149. But like I said, as of right now, 158 is going to be new support. Now above 164, okay, over the coming weeks, let's just say we see a lot of strength here from the pound yen. the market gets above 164. All right, and I'll have more videos in the future if that does happen. But the next area, all right, that I would be keeping an eye on is going to be, first of all, this region right through here. All right, so you can see that even though it does become a little choppy at periods throughout here, so you can see it was resistance back here, resistance, it got really choppy through here, but then it was support again, the market broke below it, and then resistance. So really right around 175 would be the next level above 164, and above that would be the 180 area. So it was support back here, and it was resistance before that. Again, very choppy through periods like this, but I do think that 180 would still be significant. However, just keep in mind that it is going to take weeks and probably months to get up to a level like that. So those would be just some of the levels I'd keep an eye on if we do see the market continue higher over the coming weeks and months. But as I said, for right now, what I'm going to be eyeing is a retest of 158 and really just watch and see how the market reacts at that level. Now, one other thing that makes me a little more confident that we will get a retest of 158 is the fact that there is a short-term ascending trend line here off of some of these recent highs. All right, so you can see from this level back here, connects with this one, and so far today, this area is serving as resistance. Now, this is not a level for me to act on. Okay, I'm not going to react to this. I'm certainly not going to sell the pair just because of the bullish momentum here, but I do think a trend line like this gives me a little more confidence that we will see a retest of 158. Whether that becomes support or the market breaks back below it is yet to be seen. But a trend line like this, again, does give me a little bit more confidence that we are going to get that pullback into 158. All right, so as of right now, the pound yen does look pretty bullish. I am keeping an eye on 158 to see what happens there over the coming days. And just a reminder, I would like to see a rounded retest here. If we get something very aggressive, either tomorrow or the next day where the market just crashes right back down and tests 158, I do think you have to be a little bit careful there. A rounded retest here would be a lot more constructive for the market. All right, guys, so I hope that this video has helped. If it has, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.